we're going to get more of an idea of where things stand with lockpicking and comfortability. So, yeah, as far as what we're getting it kicked off with, we got a first-round matchup here, as you can see on your screen. We have Cats taking on Why So Serious. Don't know much about either of these teams. So that's what usually happens in a first-round matchup. Of course, I believe nearly 100 teams signed up for this tournament, so quite a bit of teams. First-round matchup, getting a couple teams may not know too much about, Snoopy.
Yeah, I mean, the only person I really recognize out of all these people is Dawes, and I believe he was the manager for Team It's Gosu, right?
That is correct. He's not only manager, though, but he's also an admin for the It's Gosu events, like the head admin. So
Wow.
he's a good guy. Good guy, definitely. And I'm actually really interested to see how he plays so I can make fun of him when he sucks. It's going to be awesome. No,
Well,
I'm sure
if
he'll
he
be good,
sucks,
though.
he might be really, really good.
Very true. You know, let's hope he throws us a curveball there. And I will say, he joined the game and he's like, "Oh God, we're gonna be casted. This kind of sucks." And I was like, "Yeah, what's up, Dawes?" I actually didn't even know it was his team when I joined it, so when we chose it. But yeah, so anyways, you can go to clammilk.com, guys, if you want to check out the brackets, as well as plenty of other information. I mean, this organization, they definitely been doing a lot for the scene lately, from articles to content to guides to even hosting amateur events weekly. So definitely check out their site for more of that information. But man, I mean, it's been a while since we've had some pretty good competitive Han, Snoopy. This is cool that we're finally getting back into it.
Yeah. Yeah, I myself actually haven't been into Han lately, you know.
Yeah.
I was moving, actually. I moved rooms, so.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was fun. I have a projector in my room now. It's awesome.
Well, worth it then, I would say.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, though. Anyways, we have actually started this match, as you can see. Obviously, we're in the lock-picking stage. So now, for those that may not be too familiar with lockpicking, I mean, this isn't I'm not going to say or make a tutorial of this by any means, because it could take a while to explain, but simply put, it starts with the blind ban phase. Obviously, that has completed, where both teams ban 2 heroes blind, similar to Mid-Wars, and so there's anywhere from 2 to 4 bans that could possibly happen. As you can see here, 4 bans ended up happening, as we have Silhouette, Magnus, Warbeast, and Jeraziah. So some interesting blind bans going on here. Magnus and Warbeast banned by the Legion team. Snoopy, I mean, what's your logic for something like that?
The only one I really can't understand is Warbeast.
Yeah.
I mean, Magnus is fine. I mean, if you don't want to play a Magnus, it's good to ban him, you know? And Jeraziah, I ban Jeraziah every single game I'm in. It's a hero. And Silhouette's good carry, you know?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I think you're right. Definitely those 3 I can't be too critical on. But yeah, the Warbeast definitely a little bit out of left field. But again, this is a first-round matchup, and not only that, it is a completely new picking mode to the competitive scene, only coming out a couple weeks ago. So plenty of players, including ourselves, I'm sure. Well, I mean, we're still definitely getting used to it. I've only been able to watch a couple of in-house matches and some scrimmages as far as lockpicking has gone. But we still have plenty to learn. So it's going to be a learning process for us all, to say the least.
Yeah, definitely.
When it comes down to it. Now, after the bans, of course, that's when the lockpick stage starts. And as you can see at the top of your screen, we got 6 heroes that were locked, 3 for each team, or by each team. We got Voodoo Jester, Polywog Priest, Tempest, Aluna, Behemoth, and Moraxis as our 6 locks here. So, actually pretty solid locks here in the lock bill, Snoopy.
Definitely, yeah. 5 of those heroes are commonly picked heroes all the time.
Yeah.
The Voodoo Jester is a little strange, but I also heard somebody saying strategy-wise, you could pick like 3 completely crap heroes, and then you know that forces the other team to have to pick one of those. I mean, you're going to get stuck with one, but you know, like I've heard all different strategies from people, you know, theorizing like what you can actually do with this.
Yeah. It's very interesting, and yeah, I'll kind of going off of that. Yeah, exactly. And I think that's something that we're probably going to start seeing more later down the line, because again, with this being a new mode, people still want to go with what they know comfortable and everything. But yeah, you can definitely do some troll locks, and obviously, if all 3 of your locks are troll locks, then you're going to be not only screwing them over, but you could be screwing yourself over in a sense too, if they go with troll lock. So that's where the mind games come into play when it comes to that locking stage. And again, I'm really looking forward to seeing what does happen throughout it. But this one seems to be pretty solid. I mean, nothing too crazy. I mean, the Voodoo Jester, you said 5 out of the 6. Voodoo Jester, obviously the one that really not as much, but still, it's not like he's a rampage or anything. Still, it could be a very powerful pick. So
he has great latent presence, so his attack damage is ridiculous.
the great thing about the locking stage as well is, and again, something I expect to see teams take advantage of, is that you can lock heroes that you know the other team can't play, but you can play yourself.
Yeah.
And that's definitely a top strategy from what I've been gathering from pro players and whatnot. So.
Yeah, if you have like a super secret type of hero that one of your players just excels at, you could lock it, and then they're gonna the other team's gonna be like, that's a troll pick, and then you pick them last, and
yeah.
They end up in trouble. Guarantees you get the hero as well.
Exactly. So, yeah, again, this is just the first match that we've had the chance to cast here on Honcast with lockpicking, so it's just the beginning, guys. Again, it's going to be a learning process for us all, and I really can't wait to see what actually happens. So, but as far as this match is concerned, obviously we're in the picking stage here. Just real quickly to finish off the actual bans that happened after the locking stage, we added on Nymphora, Parasite, Torturer, Flux, Devour, and Pebble. So a couple of interesting bands there. Definitely ones that stand out are Flux and Devour. Flux we have been seeing a little bit of lately. Fits into certain lineups, comes with synergy, Engineer, Krakens, and whatnot. Devour, not expected ban, but again, with this new drafting stage, I don't know, maybe it's something we could start seeing. I don't know.
It's possible. I don't know how good the other team is, but Devour in lower level plays is picked all the time, so maybe. I don't want to judge them or anything, but maybe they feel that it's a hero that they don't want to play against. So
yeah, and on that note too, again, with the heroes that are locked prior to this and the initial blind ban phase, I mean, we're probably going to see heroes that we don't usually see in banning pick bans that are banned, such as this Flux, such as this Devour, because there's just so many locks and bans before picks actually even happen, of course. Speaking of that, picks have taken place, so we'll start with our Legion team over there. They got their 3 normal picks out of the way, and we are looking at Tundra, Andromeda, and Forsaken Archer. So they managed to get that first pick on Tundra, and that's definitely a scary hero to give up if you're the opposition.
Oh yeah, he's banned a lot, especially if a good Tundra player on the team.
Yeah.
But again, it's a team we don't know, so hopefully we'll see some good stuff out of their Tundra.
Yeah, that's definitely I keep reiterating. We'll say it again. I mean, the highest skill cap hero in the game. I truly believe it. I mean, with that Shiver, with his choreo, with the microwave that you can do on him, with what he brings to the table overall, his laning presence, 1 versus 1, and it's just all around such a powerful hero. So I think you're right. Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if they truly have a powerful player for that Tundra and can capitalize off of it. Andromeda, Forsaken Archer to follow it up, and the lockpick stage starting here, so they go with Polywog Priest as the first lockpick hero. Interesting. I mean, there's some powerful heroes in that lockpick. I mean, Polywog Priest great in its own right, but you're passing up Tempest, Aluna, Moraxis. What do you think of that?
Well, I was about to say, I don't think that they're going to pick up Tempest. Well, actually, they might pick up Tempest now that I look at it.
Yeah.
Because they might run the Tundra and the Polywog solo, so that's probably going to be their pick.
Yeah.
But yeah, they actually have a really normal looking lineup. At least the Legion do.
Whew. How about that? So they do not go the Tempest. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised at that because they had the lane setups by all means to run a Tempest.
Yeah.
So.
And then, normally you want to give Tundra and Polywog solo experience. Unless they're tri-laning. They could tri-lane with what they have.
Exactly. I think that's probably what we're going to try to see out here from our Why So Serious team on the Legion side. Possibly set up a tri-lane against that Mage Bane.
Yeah.
And speaking of that, I wouldn't be surprised if, because of that, or even if right off the bat, and then thinking that, our Hellborn team decides to run an Aluna Glacius Mage Bane tri-lane. Maybe expecting it. So, yeah, that's the first lockpick stage that we've seen here on Honcast, and it was definitely intriguing, as expected. Nothing too crazy, but we did got a Voodoo Jester pick out of it, so not a hero we see too often.
Not too many crazy picks, but we actually, I mean, I didn't know how the teams were going to form out, but they actually formed out a lot nicer than I thought they were going to.
Yeah. Again, there's a lot of thinking that could definitely go down to. I know we spent a lot of time, explaining the phases and everything, and kind of jumping into this match. So, but in future matches too, I always find myself kind of guessing, how they're going to pick the locks and stuff. So, it's always fun to do that with the in-houses that I've been able to spectate. So, but yeah, there was definitely some interesting things here. As I said, passing up that Tempest in that lock pool, something not necessarily expected, but. Here we are with this matchup now. Obviously in the game. Let me go ahead and switch the overlays real quickly. Apologize for that. So, yeah, as far as the lane setups go, again, several possibilities for both teams, but it looks like kind of unexpected. Not what I was expecting, especially from this Legion team, at least initially, sending a Voodoo Jester Tundra bot in.
I mean, it could work, you know. Voodoo Jester's really good at harassing, so... No, you don't think so?
Tundra's a hero that solo. I mean, solo man. It's just that's what he's so good at.
What's probably going to end up happening is they're going to end up having this Voodoo Jester probably roam between the two lanes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's very, very true, actually. Wouldn't be surprised if our Voodoo Jester player, Zachme, playing him, decides to start moving around earlier on than later. And as you can see, though, the Forsaken Archer and Andromeda going to be going, or Mandromeda in this case, going to be going to the top lane here. Matched up against a Wretched Hag, it looks like. So Magebane actually going to be sent mid here by our Hellborn team. Going to be a Magebane Glacius, so that should be a pretty good time for them. Obviously matched up against this Polywog Priest, so maybe because of that, we'll see the Voodoo Jester quickly adjust to that middle lane. I would think that that might be a smart choice from our Legion side.
Yeah, the only problem is Polywog Priest. To counter Polywog Priest, send 2 heroes against him, but he needs levels, so if he has that Voodoo Jester hanging around, he's going to be in, you know, it helps to not, you know, get him completely destroyed, but I don't know, it's tough.
Well, what do you think about, I guess now I'm thinking about it, Forsaken Archer and Andromeda, if they just adjust mid right away, and it's in the Polywog top, get him the 1 versus 1 matchup.
Oh, I think that would be fine. It seems like almost an MSI thing, you know, to run Polywog in a side lane solo, have their dual lane mid.
Yeah.
That would be fine, I think, but I'm pretty sure that Hellborn might adjust to that, because they know exactly what they want to do.
Yes, we will see what they decide to do as soon as we get out of this pause. Apparently I'm making people nervous. Don't know why. I'm a nice guy. I think I am, at least.
You're making me nervous.
I guess I do that. I don't know. But yeah, pauses are always fun. We had plenty of these at the DreamHack event.
Yeah. How was that? That seemed like it was an awesome time.
Oh yeah, it was a blast, man. I mean, again, obviously, I feel shitty reiterating it constantly, but you know, it was a tiring event at the same time. It was a lot of long nights, staying up very late, not much sleep, but you know, it was worth it. I mean, had a lot of fun, got some great results, and I'm already looking forward to DreamHack Winter. So
nice.
Yeah, I can't. Speaking of that, for those that may have seen DreamHaunt.com, heard about that announcement. If you go to DreamHaunt.com right now, guys, you may notice a money ticker on the site for some event that may be coming up in the near future. So definitely check that out, and we'll see how high that price pool goes for that event.
Yeah, I saw that this morning, and I just saw the money going up. I was like, oh, that's really cool. I was like, I wonder where it's going to end, because, you know.
The suspense. It's killing me.
I saw that someone on Reddit had actually figured out, like, in 30 days how much it would be up to or something like that.
Doing the math.
Yeah.
That's pretty clever, actually. Yeah, I could definitely see that. I mean, those math whizzes out there. All right, so we're out of the pause, though. We got the lanes kind of setting up here. We got a Luna and Moraxis. It looks like going to be heading bottom for Hellborn side. And again, as we kind of saw initially, Voodoo Jester Tundra starting out to be at the bottom lane. So yeah, I do wonder. I mean, again, obviously Tundra, usually your solo hero, but it would be 1 versus 2 for him if Voodoo Jester does more movement. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what our Legion team decides to ultimately go with here. But again, the middle lane, that's the intriguing one for me, because it is a Polywog 1 versus 2 against this Magebane Glacius. You know, Polywog, sure, especially in the middle lane, I'm sure he can get some levels at the very least, which is good. But obviously, a free-farming Magebane is not always a good thing to go up against.
It's something you'd like to avoid, definitely.
Yeah. So, we'll see. Now, I will say that they do have a pretty good active roaming team, so maybe not necessary right off the bat to try to lock down that Magebane, but as the game progresses, you know, around that 4 or 5 minute mark, you start hitting your 6s and whatnot, start setting up some ganks on the Magebane, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that instead be the choice here, the weapon of choice from our Legion side. And so far, it doesn't seem like any adjustments are to be had, so.
Yeah, the Andromeda is actually, you were right about the roaming capability. The Andromeda was one of my favorite heroes to play because of the ability to roam.
Yeah.
You know, being low level still, you can still help out lanes, and it'd be an easy kill on the Glacius with the Polywog.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, Andromeda. I remember the old school Andromeda Behemoth roam combination.
Oh yeah,
it's just it's so deadly. Obviously, such a powerful level 1 stun on that Comet. Then you got the Fissure stun, one of the best stuns in the game. I mean, with that wall effect, it was very powerful. Unfortunately, don't see that nearly as much. I do wonder how Voodoo Jester is going to level up. It's always an interesting hero to see, and it looks like he's going the Acid Cocktail, Curse of the Ground, at least to start. What would you prefer? You like to see that Curse of the Ground maxed out, or?
I do actually. I'm one of those people, but sometimes people only get one into Acid Cocktail, so that might be a route he takes and then maxes out the Mojo and the Curse Ground.
Yeah, obviously, the not so benefit of that is that it will reduce the amount of times it bounces around as well as the damage. So. But if you're confident that you can get that good stun out of it initially, then just to get the Cursed Ground off, then having that Mojo can be effective. But I don't know. I personally like the whole Acid Cocktail, Cursed Ground, and staying away from that Mojo. I'm not a fan of the whole dot heal. Or
it's like the most annoying stun in the game, I think.
Yeah.
Especially if you're playing a hero like Mage Bane. Because like you try and blink, and then you get hit by the stun, and then it bounces back to you again, and you're just sitting there, and you're just like, God, stop.
Yeah. It can be pretty damn annoying when RNG is in your favor. So far, though, we're now 3 minutes into the game. Nothing. Oh, yeah, we do have action picking up down here. Voodoo Jester actually getting jumped on. He does so out the Acid Cocktail. Cursor Ground is applied, but that's a very offensive maneuver, not a defensive one. Voodoo Jester being chased down by Meraxes. There comes another axe out, and maybe a couple more auto attacks will do it. There's the Quake stun, and down it goes Voodoo Jester. So Bloodlust kill going to come out in favor of our Legion team, right? Or Hellborn team, excuse me, as Tundra was chasing down a Luna, but obviously not able to get the kill. So good job from our Hellborn team coming out. Oh, top lane actually. Wretched Hag also getting caught. She's going to blink away at the last second, but a lot of damage coming out between Andromeda and, middle lane. Polywalk Priest, the final auto attack from Glacius, and he will go down as well. So, just to start talking about not too much action going on here. All of a sudden, all 3 lanes picking up when it comes to action.
Yeah. They must have just hit their level 2s and 3s.
Yeah. That Comet stun early on from Andromeda again on top of the crippling volley. Ooh, attempting to go right there on the Wretched Hag, but obviously Hag just out of range, so she is fine and will survive. But yeah, so far, I mean, again, no movement going on from either of these teams. Bottom lane, Tundra gets taken out, just catching the tail end of that, unfortunately missing the beginning, but seems like Meraxes, he's not too worried about this Voodoo Jester doing too much to him.
I think the reason we're not seeing any movement from Hellborn is they don't need to move.
Yeah.
They're fine where they're at. I think the Legion might need to move and make some adjustments, especially to deal with this Mage Bane mid, because he's at 380 gold per minute right now, and it's only 4 minutes in.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous. Let's take a look at closer look at that stats. 28 and 12 creep score for our Mage Bane player. I just saw his name too. Fuck bitches. Fuck bitches playing Mage Bane here. Yeah, he's definitely doing a pretty solid job when it comes to that creep farm. Not quite Era-esque. We did see crazy performances from him in the DreamHack event, but he's definitely doing fantastic. And that's why, talked about that earlier, and it's a pretty obvious statement, but when are they going to address that Mage Bane? And we're now at that 5-minute mark. You got Tundra and Polywalk Priest getting up to those level 6s. Maybe that's going to start being that time of thinking about it, but so far, I mean, he's having his free reign here.
Yeah, he definitely is. I don't even think that Polywalk 6 is going to be able to deal with him because he can just blink away. He's already got his Steam Boots and, still 500 gold saved up. So he's starting to get out of control. They need to start roaming on him right now.
Yeah, he's already the Steam Boost. Jeez. What do you prefer? Now, we see this difference from time to time. Either just going for the early Rune Cleaver, goes the Helm of the Black Legion. By the way, bottom lane more axes, taking a lot of pressure. But look at him go in right there. He misses the Quakes on the Voodoo Jester. It did hit Tundra, though, I believe at least. And Tundra will eventually be chased down. So there's a kill at the bottom lane. Top lane, Wretched Hag actually goes down. The first kill finally coming out for our Legion team, as Andromeda and Forsaken Archer are able to get a kill themselves. But more axes, man. I mean, that Cursed Ground is not scaring him one bit. He just keeps charging in, and it doesn't seem like that bottom lane for our Legion team could do too much against it. Oh, there we go. Speaking of that once again.
No, not at all. Yeah, they're not having a good time.
The Tundra Voodoo Jester combination. not coming through necessarily.
It doesn't synergize as well as Meraxes Luna, I guess.
No, not quite there.
About your question before, the Runed Axe on Mage Bane, if you can get it really, really fast, then I would go for the Rune Axe. But if it looks like you're in for a long haul kind of thing,
Yeah.
I want to go for the Vanguard first. Or if you're being ganked a lot, he has no one even showing any interest in him right now. So.
Now, on the note, I mean, this is a pretty gank-aggressive team again, so what would you prefer this game? Do you think that Helm makes sense, or just be safe, or are you fine with the ring cleaver?
Well, I don't, what he's doing is probably smart. He got the Iron Shield, that's good enough to stay in lane, so I think what he's doing now is probably going to be a Rune Axe. But in this game, yeah, I mean, his team is dominating, so there's really no point to get the Helm of the Black Legion right now, because he could farm it up really quick if we actually wanted to get one.
Yeah. Oh, top lane. Forsaken Archer's going to fall right here. Aluna coming up to support this wretched hag. And I do not think Forsaken Archer was ready for that. Polywar Priest in the meantime in the middle lane. He will also go down as Mage Bane blinks on top. And Glacius actually going to take credit for the kill right there. So it seems like our Hellborn team up 7-1 right now. Looking pretty damn good. And I must say, I just really Dawes on that Moraxis. He has been doing a pretty solid job at this bottom lane. So he's coming through for me. He's not the sucky player that maybe I was expecting. Congrats, Dawes. Yep. Shout out to him. He's a great admin. He's again, it was admin of the It's Goes to events and definitely did quite well with those, if I say so myself. So good man to have in the Han scene. But
okay, yeah, definitely. Phil says that the team names at the top of the screen are on the wrong side, he thinks.
Oh, yeah, they are. Unfortunately, that isn't something I can necessarily fix just on the fly. So, but yeah, they are actually on opposite sides, so I apologize for that.
Okay. I'm not offended.
How dare you? How dare you break a secret? Those teams are wrong. No, they're right, though. Actually, I'm looking at it now. So what Cats is actually Hellborn. Oh, I will later today. Do it every day. Why So Serious is our Legion team, and Cats is actually the Hellborn team, so just kind of flip those around in your head.
Oh.
Yeah, Glacius hiding in the trees right here, but here comes the roaming Legion team. In comes the stuns onto Aluna, but Moraxis is there with the Quake stun. The cold shoulder comes out onto Aluna from Tundra, trying to finish him off. The wards are down, so there will be the kill on Aluna. However, Moraxis activates his ultimate right there, and the Legion team is forced to spread out. So a 1-for-1 exchange so far. Make that a 2-for-1 with that Quake stun to finish off Andromeda, and a double tap coming out from Moraxis, being played by Dawes once again. So, again, Hellborn team keeping up the momentum, now up 9-2 in hero kills. Only 9 minutes into this game here.
Yeah, I don't think they knew that Glacius was there. I think that's really what probably did them in, was the extra help from Glacius.
Yeah.
It was a good job by the Hellborn team. They almost kind of baited it, too. I don't know if they completely saw the gank coming, but it seemed a lot like it was a bait to me.
By the way, speaking of Moraxis, I meant to bring this up earlier, too, but Action has been picking up, of course. But Moraxis, now, he did receive a nerf in a fairly recent patch. I forget exactly which one it was, but his Moraxis ability, the third ability, of course, it increased the cooldown from 1 second to 1.5 seconds. And Wretched Hag, by the way, at the top lane, going to barely survive, and Aluna gets done at the last second. Will help keep her alive. But now what that does, obviously, is pretty much it makes it Moraxis, that second axe, he pretty much has to land if he wants to keep the slow up. If he misses it, the slow will wear off because, of course, it lasts those 3 seconds. So. Yeah, where if it was 1 second before, you could actually miss an axe in between and still manage to keep the slow applied. So actually pretty solid change there.
Yeah, definitely. It makes the character just a little bit harder to play. Yep. It's a slight tweak on him that, up in middle we probably was Priest getting chased down, and yeah.
That's a dead frog right there.
This is poor Polywog Priest.
Yeah. But yeah, so you think that's a good change to Moraxis?
Yeah, I mean, the hero's strong. He's still, they didn't take away any of his tank ability, They just made him have that next level of, skill shot, like just one little step up, It wasn't a major nerf or anything like that, but it was enough that, it made sense to me.
Yeah. Oh, Moraxis gets avalanched right here after jumping on a Tundra, but all that did was just stall him in his tracks, and so nothing much going to come out of it. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Forsaken Archer getting picked off, poured out the last second from Andromeda, will barely survive, but again, the pressure being kept up here from our Hellborn team. And, I must say, obviously, they have a pretty solid, somewhat of an aggressive team themselves, but I look at this matchup, and, again, I see this Legion team as them being the aggressors, and them should be the ones getting the hero kills. But our Hellborn side, you got to give them credit once again. They've dominated really the middle and the bottom lane especially, and Wretched Hag at the top lane, she didn't do too shabby herself. I mean, she's managing 242 gold per minute despite being in 1 versus 2 for most of it, and she's level 8 on top of that. So, seems like our Hellborn team is pretty confident position and perhaps pulling away earlier than later.
Yeah, I think that their really strong early game definitely is helping them in this mid game where, Legion team should be able to be making ganks and getting kills and letting this FA get farm, but it looks like that, the Hellborn team just had too big of a lead early on for them to really have that efficiency in ganking.
I mean, so we look at the situations like this, and what we go to next is, well, what can our Legion team do to come back into this game? Yeah, about that. I look at this GPM chart. I look at this experience per minute chart. I mean, it's pretty devastating early on this game, but I guess just taking advantage of these level 6s, playing aggressive, coming together, getting some kills, and in this middle lane we may see one right here, but unfortunately it's at the sacrifice of Polywalk Priest Life and Andromedas, and Mage Bane gets the kill, so not as well planned as they wanted it to be, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Glacius, he has boots and everything, and Andromeda doesn't have boots, and Voodoo doesn't have boots, so I really think that's setting the course for how this game is going so far.
Yeah, Mage Bane actually was going to get stunned right before the Mana Rift, actually, and that, I don't know if that would have killed Tundra, but that would have done a little bit more damage, so it's almost as if that was better that it got canceled, because I don't think it was going to kill him, so.
Yeah, but by the looks of it, Mage Bane's going to have his Rune Cleaver before 14 minutes. So Rune Cleaver, Steam Boots, Iron Shield before 14 minutes is actually really great. Up top.
Heard it's pretty good, yeah. Top lane, unfortunately missing that action, but Forsaken Archer, obviously.
I've heard from people that's a good thing to get.
It's all right. It's all right. It's not too bad. I'd prefer to see that level 1 Codex as soon as possible, but to each their own, I guess. Mage Bane, another hero, by the way, that did, of course, receive a nerf. I believe he did, actually. If I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to think of the. There's been so many changes. I mean, obviously, this changes every couple of patches, so. I want to say something about his shield got nerfed on himself. I think his self-buff shield got nerfed, if I'm not mistaken, but.
I actually don't know.
It used to be 15, I believe. Now it's 12. Yeah, at max level. So I think that's what it was, but
it's a little tweak.
Yeah, one of those tweaks. Definitely another one of those heroes that's considered to be very powerful in the right hands, of course. And,
yeah, always.
But I don't know if it's necessary of a complete hardcore nerf by any means, but changes are nice. Tundra at the bottom lane is going to drop once again. As more access, the big part of it, but of course having Glacius and Aluna there, helping to get the trio of stuns out. And Helm of the Black Legion on him, by the way. He also, it's only another 600 gold saved up, but yeah, I think the Legion team, they're kind of getting desperate now. They're going to start grouping up at this top lane and go for some pushing. And I can't blame them, but will this be enough to make something happen? Probably not, but again, they are in a very desperate spot here.
If they probably had tried to do some team fighting earlier, like the whole team, they might have had more success. But I think now that Hellborn team is ridiculously farmed, I think they're in trouble.
Yeah, we see Wretched actually blinking. No, going to take a Commissar on top of the Cursor Ground, so Wretched in a little bit of trouble. Piercing arrows not in the greatest position, hitting Moraxis, though. Bat Blast coming out as well, and Vintage Jester will fall. That Glacial down for Tundra will eventually be taken out by the Power Throw, and the Legion team just gets absolutely massacred, as mentioned right there. Polywalk Priest trying to run away. Ain't gonna happen, though. Double tap coming out for Fresh Blow. Playing that Wretched Hag. Almost said Fresh Bro. Good man. Hasn't been playing in a while, though. Anyways, Genocide coming out for Hellborn team. And, I think that could have been the heart and the dagger, or dagger and the heart right there. Wow.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that really just let you know how farmed the Hellborn team actually is.
Yeah. It wasn't a bad start there for our Legion team, but...
So they are 1600.
It's a tournament. Come on. What do you expect?
I know. They came to win,
Yeah, you can't blame them. It's you play to win the game.
Yeah, you don't want what happened to Vitriolic Gaming to happen to them.
Yeah, exactly. I assume you're for Fun of the Sun Gaming.
Fun of the Sun Gaming.
Yeah, you gotta take everyone serious, man. You can't let those.
Oh no, poor Moraxis.
Come up. Oh yeah, Moraxis getting caught. It's Moraxis. Why are you saying oh no? Like that actually matters. He's activates his ult as the Matrix, and he's going to stand right on top of Andromeda and eventually kill him. We do see the counter kill into Luno, however, so not too bad right there. But everyone stays alive for our Legion team actually. Oh, Andromeda, yes, going to pour out the last second, and will survive. Tundra going to take a Quake Stun in the meantime, And Tundra will eventually fall right here. Cold Shoulder trying to get a kill on Glacius, but not going to happen. So, good job once again coming out from our Hellborn team. And they're now up 21-5. Only 16.5 minutes. Snoopy, what does our Legion team need to do to come back into this?
I think they kind of need a miracle of team fight here. I don't know. I really think it's difficult for them to come back. I mean, you can look at the gold and 16,000. You know.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot.
Yeah. It's a little overwhelming. So I think our Legion team at this point is, perhaps obviously, this is what tends to happen. Also, teams are on Honcast, newer teams especially. It's like, let's just play for the sake of being on Honcast. And for the fame factor, which is fine, and you play, you might as well play it out. It's only best out of one, of course. Speaking of that, this is a day one coverage today. We got 5 rounds planned in total. Of course, this being a first round that we're going to cover today, and all of them are best out of one. So 5 games total is what is expected to happen today. So for those that were wondering, ooh, the ward's coming out right there, and unfortunately missing. I believe the Arcane Shield actually activated for more access, helping him speed away right there. So. Missed opportunity from Why So Serious.
Yeah, I don't know. I think normally, in a situation like this, maybe they have a hard carry on their team who's like,
yeah.
Oh god, they have like a super hard carry, like a Dark Lady or something like that. You're like, Dark Lady just needs to get farmed. They might be able to get back in this. I mean, they got Forsaken Archer, but they got Mage Bane on the other team. Yeah,
not only that, but a Mage Bane that has 544 gold per minute, 18 minutes into the game, who went a Whispering Helm, by the way. I'm not a huge fan of that, especially with... Now, if this was, perhaps a much more even game, then okay, but come on, man. I mean, you got a crazy late. You gotta go something aggressive. You gotta go, like Carcons or something. Like, you gotta be troll at this
aggressive,
stage.
I say.
Not smart. Just crazy stupid,
yeah. All right, I got
just the exact opposite. No, but he's playing the safe route. Make it interesting. Yeah, exactly. Make it interesting. Give them a chance.
Codex level 1. Oh, never mind. I spoke too soon.
By the way, did somebody get a Codex?
He did. I think
Meraxis did. Yeah, there. Daw's coming through for us. Daw's know what's up.
I was like Codex level 1, and then he had it before I even said it, and I was like...
He does it. Speaking of items, though, I forgot to mention this too. Grave Locket is now available in tournament play.
Oh.
So, and we see it actually here on a Luna. So that's actually an item that I expect to see on support players. Heroes like a Luna, because it's obviously a fairly cheap item. Talisman of the XL, very good for support heroes for the most part, and having that reduction in resurrection timer, not too shabby. So.
Yeah, I think that on Farmed, if we see the Grave Locket more, we're going to see the new Sackstone as well.
Yeah. Unfortunately, not in tournament play.
Not yet?
Not yet. With it just coming out, it's probably not going to be tournament play for a while, with that said. Just how it goes. But, ooh, Wretched Hag getting caught right here. The Curse of Ground is not applied, though, actually. Wretched Hag going to be able to blink away in time. And now that tournament ultimate coming out from Voodoo Jester, only doing so much damage, but Andromeda goes down to a Bat Blast, and Wretched Hag survives. Meanwhile, at the top lane, Mage Bane able to chase down Tundra and pick up the kill to him. It is not over just yet. Wretched Hag comes back and says, I got you, Voodoo Jester, you bitch. Takes him out. Polywalk Priest being chased down. The piercing arrows from Forsaken Archer. Only gonna stop. Oh wow! It ends up killing a Luna actually. So good job for Forsaken. But may kill Wretched Hag. Trying to go for kill elite. No, Wretched Hag. Good job hiding in the forest. And Moraxis will get the double tap. Is that a buyback or Andromeda? No, resurrecting ports back in. The Aurora hits, but not enough damage. And Wretched Hag will survive. There's a vote to concede at least, but yeah, I think it's safe to say it is over at this point.
Yeah, I think it's been over for a little bit, but definitely now is the time that we could definitely say it's pretty much confirmed over.
Yeah, our Hellborn team calling out the GG well played, so it looks like people are doing it, and there we go. So it is indeed official. Cats, again, I apologize for the top of the screen there, that was my bad. But Cats, actually on the Hellborn team, they are the ones that are advancing on to the next round. So congratulations to them. I'm sure they're excited, and